And hello and welcome to tonight's live stream. Tonight's race is the TCX number 4 event, hosted by GoRace Promotions. My name is Steve Duro, also known as Bonomo Ilgul, and I also have Jack, aka Mr. Brumby, in the commentary box with us tonight, so welcome.
G'day, g'day. Thanks for having me. It's been a while since I've done some commentary, so looking forward to tonight.
No worries, man. Yeah, so tonight's race is at Phillip Island. We have 2 classes on for tonight. We did have a 3rd class, but I don't think there was enough interest in that. But tonight we have the V8 Supercars and the V8 Utes. It's going to be an interesting mix.
Come on, the Utes.
Yeah, you gotta love the
Utes. Yeah, you just do. They're so good, even though by my screen they're electric because the Fords for some reason are just silent. But that's okay. It'll be a good battle.
Yeah,
we're already pretty close to times, even though this is just practice, but still nonetheless.
Yeah. Alright, so we might jump on board with Chris Ruffalo. We'll go live with Chris Ruffalo in the V8 Nissan Altima.
The car that must work really well for him. He does so well in this car, pretty much wherever you put him.
Yeah, the Nissan is fast in the V8 Supercars. I've known a few that are really flying it. So
yeah, he drives the absolute wheels off it. Apparently the windscreen is quite wide. Apparently you can really see quite well out of it compared to the other models. So your Mustang, your ZB, your VF, and FGX. Apparently
yeah, right.
It's really quite good to see out of. Which is one sort of element of it, I guess.
Yeah. So you got just a better field of view.
Yeah, you can just simply see more, and maybe it just suits his driving style or something. I don't know, because he can just absolutely wring the neck off of it. Actually pulls off the track now. He's got a 132 absolutely dead at the moment.
Yeah.
Top of the timesheets.
I'll go to the next. We've got Superstar, who's on track. He's in 3rd currently, a little bit behind, with just under 3 seconds from the pace. So he's got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, he has only just joined the server in the last kind of 5-10 minutes, whereas Farlow and the 2 Nissans have been online for ages now, pretty much since I joined.
So he's still got to warm things up. What my understanding is, the V8 Supercars are on controlled tyres, so they are locked on the Super Softs.
Yep.
As if I think that is correct. Yeah. And so is the Ute. I think the Utes are just normally got the 1 compound anyway, so...
Yeah, I think they do. They've just got a sort of medium to hardish compound tyre, the Utes. They tried to make those as close to the Brute Ute series in real life, and they always just had the 1 tyre. Cheap and cheerful racing.
We've got Superstar heading into the pits. So who else is in... There's only 1 guy on field, and he's going into the pits as well.
Oh, come on!
Okay, I think they might have called driver's brief, so that was just a
surely
quick
can't be
preview. Yeah.
So well, we can talk about the track a bit if we like.
Yeah. Well, look, I think Phillip Island is really known to be hard on tyres. So
it's incredibly hard, very long. It's a fantastic track, and in real life, really quite beautiful. I've been there a couple of times myself, and it's so pretty how you can just see the water over, sort of down the main straight and across turn 1 and 2. So beautiful, but it's quite a rewarding track when you get it right. But as you said, it absolutely murders the tyres, especially on the supercars, and doubly especially on the super soft tyres. They overheat within a couple of laps. They're really hot. So your tyre management is going to be a big part of the race.
Yeah, so turn 1 is a bit of a what would you call it? It's a pretty fast right-hander.
Oh, yeah, it's really
and it loads up the left rear tyres pretty good. So then they come into a decent braking zone, into turn 2.
And you can
Sorry, I don't
sometimes
know
see
the corner
moves put on.
names. I
No,
know
yeah.
I'm not that good with corner names, so
I only half remember them for Philippine. I feel like I'll be better off just going off of the numbers. Turn 2 is that really long sweeping left.
really
You can
long.
sometimes see moves being put on in turn 1 and 2. If you get a good run out of the final turn or out of turn 1, you can sometimes sneak up the inside. Cars can go side by side through turn 2 as well, and that's really easy to run wide to turn 2, either on the brakes on the entry or getting on the power too early on the exit and the car will understeer off the track into the grass.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And we're coming onto like a bit of a straight. Oh, we got Ruka. Those Utes look like a bloody nightmare. Oh, they are, but they're so fun to drive. I can tell you that much now.
They are some of the funnest cars in this entire game to drive. They are
Yeah.
so just fun. They're just so fun to drive. Why is everyone leaving the server? Is there like
So,
a restart happening that I don't know about?
what would you call maybe turn 3, maybe turn 4?
Yeah,
Um,
turn 3, you just sort of flat through it. It's a little.
yep,
It's
that
more than a
little
kink, but it's
that little
yeah,
kink.
it's a bit of a turn.
But then it comes in probably the best passing zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Massive,
Is
really deep braking zone.
braking
Easy to
zone.
lock a wheel.
Yeah, into like a hairpin. You're going to have a lot of dive bombs through there because there's a lot of runoff space. Um, so we'll see definitely a few attempts in there.
Makes people get brave.
It does.
They'll just go
Um,
for a dive. It is a good overtaking
well,
opportunity though, turn 4.
then we've got almost like another hairpin coming. It's a bit wider.
Yeah, that's
Um,
sweeping left-hander onto
yeah,
the.
so sweeping left. It's almost like a double apex. All depends how you take the corner, but it's almost like either a double apex or a very late apex.
Yeah,
Um,
it's really important to get a good run out of that turn.
it is
Just onto
because
that
that will
back
come
corner.
up to this little kink here, but up to it like you. If you get a good run out of that corner, you can probably do a pass up through here because you actually do have to brake quite a lot, but it's a sweeping left up a hill,
So
and it's sort
such
of
a great section of the track that.
yeah, and then it's actually it's really satisfying to get that corner right.
Oh,
Uh,
so good when you get it
then
right and the car's just right on the edge of the grip and you can
yeah,
feel it in your
then
hands.
you come down, and it's sort of like a downhill braking zone. So we'll try to get a good elevation shot, and you can see how that it's comes down. You do have to brake because this probably is the slowest corner of the track, I would say. Um,
Uh, yeah, one of the and what you have to be really careful of is there's heaps of bumps on the inside line
it
coming into
is,
that hard turn.
yeah,
So you got to be so careful, especially in the supercar, to not lock the wheels. You can't really sort of see it from the camera angles, but trust me, in the car, there's some seriously big bumps there as you come down into that turn.
yeah, that's right. And the Utes are going to be, you know, really lively around this corner.
Oh, they'll be sliding so much, especially
Yeah,
as we get a
so
little bit later into the race and
uh,
the tires start to die off a bit, and that'll be mental to watch.
oh, okay, reserver, we have an issue.
And server restart.
Yep, okay. We'll keep online while
Oh, I've got someone else's livery, look at that.
so I've just got notified that the server has to be reset because the race laps were wrong. So it's not going to take
Yeah,
too long.
it's now just qualifying in the race on the server.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it said. It's pretty
Um,
what I read. So I think we're in qualifying now.
oh, are we? They haven't
I think
started
so.
already.
If I hit back to pits. Oh no, it's practice. Never mind. My
Ah,
bad.
I'm like, don't start without me. Go on.
No care. Oh, Josh Hill's in the VF. Oh, respect. I miss the VF.
Have we got anyone in the Mustang tonight? I think we do. I think there's a couple.
Super's in the Mustang. I haven't seen anyone else yet, but I'm not sure if everyone's here. So, might be some more.
Alright. back. So
Wee, Fando! Oh, Jack Meredith has ruined it. Couple of blokes trying to slide through a couple of the turns, and Jack's fucked it up. As you would expect.
going to Fando. Oh, he's just doing a nice drift.
It was pretty good. Fando's was good. It was a good slide.
Yeah, that was a good slide. So just jump on Fando. He's doing a bit of a drift. I reckon he's watching the stream.
I think it's just
showboating a little bit.
Come on, Jack, get it together, says Smiley.
Man, those tyres, see, with the Utes, you know, the tyres can heat up really quick. So if you're sliding a lot,
yeah, it's actually, the Utes are funny. They're so easy to slide and really fun to drive, but to actually race them, you have to be quite careful because you almost have to drive it like a sort of slightly older race car where you can't just be pushing as hard as possible 24/7. You've got to sort of maintain a certain pace to not overheat and kill the tyres too quickly.
Yeah, because they're actually quite set pretty high.
Yeah, they can get
Jack,
really hot.
I think Jack's trying to show us that, you know, what not to do.
They are so easy. They are so easy to drift. It's fantastic.
They're the best drift cars you can probably get. So.
Oh, absolutely. They're fantastic for just that exact purpose.
So let's jump on with the man, the guy who's organised all this, Matt Nipris, in his 1.6 Nissan Altima. It's actually a quite nice livery he's got there. So I haven't really taken notice of his times. I'm not sure where he's sitting.
I think in the previous survey he was kind of about a second-ish, give or take, off the top. So
yeah, well, he's no stranger in these cars. In these cars, so won't take him long to get up to speed. But can he take the fight to Rafalo? You know, he's going to be a hard man to beat. So
yeah, well, it's always, you know, your qualifying pace is all well and good, but sometimes in the race, at turn 1 he can get taken out, and it's all of a sudden.
That's it. You know, that's it. Because I'm not sure. I'm gonna have a look. How many V8 Supercars we have? We have 1.
I think there's a handful in the server at the moment.
3. We have 3 V8 Supercars. You know, I thought there was a lot more than that.
I think there's more entered. Yeah, they're just not here yet.
Yeah.
Just waiting for quali, which actually theoretically it's just ticked over the weighted clock. That should be here. That should be starting any time now.
Jump on board, Matt. Matt Double. So most of these guys in the V8 Utes are also signed up for the GT Club's V8 Ute series, which is starting tomorrow. You know, we have our warm-up round.
Yeah, I'm signed up for that. I'm going to be taking part in that as well.
Yep. And yeah, I think we have 20 sign-ups at the moment, so that is going to be a very interesting series to watch. So
it'll just be organised chaos more than a racing series. They're so fun though.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're easy to sort of drive around and have some fun in. But they can be a little bit harder to race. As I was saying before, you kind of have to manage them a bit. So
yeah,
really that'll be a lot of fun.
It is, like, it's all going to be managing tyres, and I guess that begs the question for tonight is, are these tyres going to last? You know, I'm guessing these guys will have to pit for fuel before being a 200 kilometer race. So
yeah, I'm not too sure actually how their fuel range would go.
I think with the V8 Supercars, being on super softs, as grippy as they are, they're not going to last long. You know what I mean? So it's all about managing tyres around this track.
Yeah, especially with there's just so many long turns. A little bit unique in Australia in that regard. There's not too many tracks in Australia that's almost entirely made up of really long sweeping curves.
Well, this track was really made up for MotoGP, if I believe.
Well, yeah, it's predominantly
It's
a
like,
MotoGP track.
yeah, so it really suits bikes, but it's really fun to watch cars go around here too. So,
yeah, they can go pretty well as well. It's a good track. I don't want to say it's underrated, but I feel like it's sort of a little bit unloved sometimes, perhaps. Like,
I think it's just unloved because it's hard to get right. In V8 Supercar, you know it's because if you don't have the right setup, being some Matt Nipros, sorry, Matt Double just teleports. But it's about getting that mid-corner grip set up right.
Yeah.
If you have that mid-corner grip all set up, then you can get on the power earlier, you can brake better, you know, and some people struggle getting you know, some of these cars up to speed on this track. So
setting up, especially the supercars, setting them up can be so difficult because it's all in the dampers and how you tune them to handle, you know, curbs or long turns or braking zones or pretty much anything.
Yeah. So we're on qualifying.
Yeah, let's say.
And it looks like we're in the. I think the Utes are coming out first.
Yeah, the Utes must be.
Oh, we have Chris Nipris. How come I didn't see that? You know, welcome back, Chris. I haven't seen you racing for a while, so hopefully he does well.
I'm really looking forward to this Ute fight, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm so looking forward to that.
Oh, we've got Alfonso to the server as well now, so he's leading the pack in qualifying.
Yeah, the ball gone out. Just coming down through turn 3 into turn 4 now. Jeez, we're giving ourselves much of a not much of a gap for a qualifying, but
nah, like I'm not sure who's behind him. I'm not really. There'll be Lachlan Nicole, and I'm surprised he hasn't left himself a bit of a gap.
No, I'm sure he's.
Nor has Fando.
Sure he's got an idea. I think.
Sorry, what was that?
Meredith sucks, says Bob. I've just seen as well. Yeah, I'm not too sure what
maybe he was talking about his drifting.
Yeah, surely. All the Utes have been doing a little bit of drifting at the moment. It's probably one of the easiest cars in the game to get some heat into the tyres. You just like drift around about 3 corners and...
Yeah, well, if you drift 3 corners, your tyres are cooked, so...
Yeah.
Let's see how they're going to handle this.
Do it a couple of times and they're up to temperature. And it's really all about your throttle modulation. You know, because you can get on the power really early and it's more fun, and sometimes it's a bit faster depending on the kind of corner, but it can make the car step out more. And so it sort of depends, you know, what's the trade-off? How early do you want to be on the power, but how much oversteer do you want as well on the exit of the turn? So here we go. The car's starting their first flying laps. A bit of flames out the back. Pretty wide of the apex there.
Very wide.
The Hot Wheels. Probably gone a little bit too deep on the brakes. It's gone very deep into turn 2 as well. Looking for the late apex. Yeah, he's come very late apex. Look at that. I often take that second turn with I make it a double apex corner. So you hit an early apex first, then run the car deep, and then come back for a late apex.
Yep.
But yeah, no, he's decided to sort of take that one singular late apex, and it's kind of what I like about this track as well, is there's different lines that can all work.
Yeah.
Which can make racing especially really quite good, because everyone sort of has their own unique way of getting around.
Yeah.
Go into this back. I keep on going to call it the back straight, but it's really not a back straight, is it? It's like it's a back fast section.
Yeah. Yeah, no problems, Matt. it's no dramas. I enjoy doing this broadcast, so yeah, we're all looking forward to the V8 series as well in the GT Club, so it's going to be a pretty intense battle, I reckon.
Yeah,
These
it'll all be good.
Utes.
Yeah, how's the Hoggles car looking for the final turn? Actually, pretty good.
He's on a
Seems
215.
like he's under control.
A 151.8. Oh, Fando up to the top with a 151.1. Matt double slot into second.
Pretty close there, only
Pretty close there.
3 3/4 tenths.
What Chris Nipris does. And he might have had an invalid lap. Shove on board with Fando. He's in the Ford XR8U.
Yeah,
with the Max Vlog livery he has.
We'll always miss these Utes in real life, won't we? They were pretty cool.
Yeah, I think he really likes these Utes. I know he's fast, so...
Yeah, they're good cars. And a pretty decent other round. It'll be interesting to see in sort of... if like, because I'm not sure how many laps these guys will get, but how sort of the rest of the field pans out compared to that Fando lap of 151.173. Whether that's like, because I'm not really too sure if that's a really quick lap or not. In these cars, so I haven't done any laps at all.
Fando's up 4 tenths, so let's just go on board with him. And you gotta love his enthusiasm there with his piss on the Holden sign. So there we go for your Fando, right on the stream. I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Right out to the exit on the final turn, coming down to the line. Oh, look at that!
Wow.
159.99.
See what Alonso's he's sliding around. He's also Matt Double. Go on board with Jack Meredith. He still hasn't set a valid time. So
He's probably fallen off the track 15 times.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing when you start doing little mistakes like with these tires, because the pressures are so high coming out, you know, standing off like that. If you make a mistake, those tires get cooked really quick. So
yeah, they do.
Which he might have done and just did a easy lap, maybe to
yeah, a bit of a
cool him down. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep a bit of an eye, see how his car poise looks. He was sliding around all the time in our practice. God knows how much of that was actually on purpose. The car's getting a little bit of sideways out of the long left-hander, but it didn't look too bad.
So I'm thinking that these guys have 10 minutes each, so there's 2.5 minutes to go. When watching Matt Double, who's a really quick driver, he's already showing that he's going to be... Oh, he got off?
Yeah, he's just rejoined just before the tight right-hander. So he'll be pushing now.
Yeah. Let's see what Matt can do. He's purple sector in the middle, only by just. Through slightly.
Field's closed up a little bit since the start. You've got a second covering the top 4.
Yeah. We've still got... Oh, just as we go on to Chris...
that haven't set proper laps, is that what I'm saying?
We've got Chris Nipris just about to cross the line. Hopefully he's set a best time, and he does with a 153. We've got Jack Meredith coming up onto the
Another lap.
last... On another lap, yeah.
And here we are, Jack Meredith. His last lap falling off the track was 1:57, so yeah, lost a fair bit of time there. Watch him on this lap and see if he can get the car together. He really...
Oh, he's really late there.
Yeah, part of the way that Jack drives the car is he really likes to use the engine to help his braking. So you'll hear his engine rev really hard when he's under brakes. It's just what he likes to do. He likes to rev the absolute tits off of it. Which, I mean, I can't do that. I have mechanical sympathy. That just like, it hurts me to do what he does, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how he, that's part of how he slows down his cars, and he does it in pretty much everything he drives. He just really leans on the engine to slow the car down.
Yeah, these Utes don't really like curbs, I can tell you that much now.
Yeah, you gotta be a bit careful with that. They can bounce a fair bit. They weigh an absolute ton. They can be quite bouncy because of the lack of weight over the rear of the car, so in that way they kind of unbalanced a bit.
Yeah.
I think this lap's been relatively clean. God knows how fast it's been, but...
Well, he's one second up in the first sector.
Yeah, it's been sliding.
He's 0.8 up in the second sector, so coming around the last corner.
It didn't actually look too great in the final corner.
No.
Understeered a bit in the mid-turn. Here you go, he'll come to the line. We've also got a new time at the top. It's a 1:50.954. Jack Meredith sets a time of 1:52.958, putting him up into 6th, just ahead of Nippers. Almost 2 seconds exactly off of the new fastest lap.
Just got one board with Fando, who's probably on his final lap because the V8 Supercars have now jumped on track.
So theoretically, Meredith and Fando on in laps then, I guess.
Oh, we've got Daniel Scaluna, who's jumped Fando into first. We've missed that, covering Jack Meredith, so that's actually quite impressive.
Yeah, I only just done it.
Only just, but it's enough.
Yeah, it is, it is.
Well, Fando's on his last lap, and so is Meredith. Who's looks like he's just got a V8 Supercar right behind him, so...
Yeah, he does. They make the Utes look so slow.
let's see how kind they are with him, because he's definitely overstayed his welcome on the track. So he's moved out the way, I think.
Oh no, just we've got Josh Hill just behind him. I believe that is in the VF Commodore.
So we've got Fando, who's going into the pits. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're both on in laps. The two Utes.
Yeah. So
they were just completing those final laps, and now they're hopping off the track, and the supercars are just starting.
Yeah, so I think he's.
So
let's just jump on board with Superstar, who's I think the first V8 out on track, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, and that Mustang in his NVIDIA backed car. I haven't really driven the Mustang too much in sort of my own time.
It's not too bad. You know, I've driven it in the AK series.
Yep.
It was a bit different to set up compared to the others, but you know, it holds its own with the right driver. So
yeah. These supercars look like they're absolutely flying now compared to watching the Utes going around. So
yeah, such a massive speed difference.
Yeah, it is. Those Utes have like, well, I think it's about like 400-ish horsepower. They're thereabouts, very big-ish on that. Yeah. These supercars, they'll have around 650 horsepower.
Yep.
Assuming they're based on the slightly older cars before they took away a little bit of the horsepower. Super coming around the final turn. So hard to get that right in the supercar actually, because you've got to turn in so much earlier than you think.
Well, Superstar set the standard at 1:33. Jump on board with Matt Nipris. Just about to cross the line. He's up to the top with a 132.9. Hill
Splits them.
into second.
And that gorgeous VF Commodore.
And we've got Rafale just coming onto the pit straight. He's on all purple sectors. And the third one jumps straight to the top with a blistering 132 flat.
He is good. He's just so good. He's an incredible driver. He's a good bloke too, which is always nice. You know, like, you know, there's people that are good drivers, but they're also just massive cocks about it. But nah, he's a good bloke. And incredibly quick. He's gapped almost everyone by a second, nearly.
Yeah. Everyone. He's made a name of himself. He's a quick driver. He's very competitive. I've had a few battles with him in the past. The GT3s.
I'm not really fast enough to battle with him.
I'm probably not that fast in the V8s. But yeah, no, I've battled with him in the GT3s stuff. So
rubbish in GT3 cars. Absolutely rubbish.
Oh, Matt Nipris. Who did I see?
I think it was Super improved slightly.
Yeah.
So it's now 1.6 seconds off.
Matt improves, yep, with a 32.9. Oh, only just.
Tad quicker.
A tad quicker.
Yeah, fuck. His car just looks so good. Like, it's just, you know, it's not sliding around. It's not having any moments anywhere. It's just really planted and controlled, and consequently, it goes about a tenth and a bit quicker.
Yeah. So let's jump on board with Matt Nipris. Well, lock up the rear a little bit.
Just a little bit of a lock up coming into the hairpin. Really quite easy to do. It's a really big braking zone. You can, it entices you to brake deeper and deeper, and so you just keep on pushing, and eventually you find the point of no return, and you'll lock a wheel.
Yeah, well, the best way to see if a V8 Supercar is well set up is to watch the steering inputs.
Yeah.
And he seems pretty smooth with them, so he's pretty happy how the car's behaving. So.
Seemed to turn in quite nice. Oh, got a little bit sideways there. A little bit of wheel spin right as you're at that change.
Around that corner, sometimes it's good to short shift as well.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. And it was on that gear shift, I think, where it got a little bit taily. Up to the line now. What's he do?
He improves.
32.5.
32.5. He's getting closer.
There's only 3 minutes left in quali though, so they'll only get a couple more laps for the little 4 crew supercars head of the field.
Lachlan Nichols, 51s and 50s too quick in Utes. Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, a couple of them have put in some pretty decent laps near the end there.
You just have to press harder, man.
Super's gone. So I think Rafale must be happy with his laps. He's in. He's done, I think.
Yeah, and so is Superstar.
He's just come back out, actually. My bad, never mind.
Well, he might just grab some fresh tyres.
Yeah, he'll be going for one final lap, I reckon. We're hitting the tyres now and go for one final push, see if he can improve it all. Josh Hill here in his blue Penrite VF Commodore I'm having a look at is 1.1 seconds off of Rafale anymore.
Oh, he's almost... He's up.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, Hill.
He's up. Let's see what... He's got 2 personal best sectors. Let's see what he does when he crosses the line. He improves even with a purple last sector, 32.6.
It was a good improvement. They made a fair bit of time.
So he's well under a second away from Rafalo.
Yeah, he's up there now.
Yeah. So we've only got the two V8 Supercars. We've got Joshua Hill and we've got Rafalo himself on provisional pole. I don't think he's going to get knocked off, so...
Yeah, no, he'll be fine.
I reckon he just would have went out there just to cover himself. Oh, Matt's gone out again with a fresh set of boots. Yeah.
There's only 55 seconds left.
He's not going to have enough time. Rafalo's on his last flying lap.
Probably be a good lap actually. I'm going to watch.
Yeah, we've got Josh Hill up another 3.5 tenths.
3.5 tenths. That's not bad. At the moment, just coming. What? Yeah, DL's right at the edge of the brake.
Right on the edge. He got it pulled up. He got it pulled up. Oh no, he's
the rear brake.
Yep.
Yeah, what can he do? Come through the final turn. He might even get another lap here.
Oh, he might.
10 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, he will. So if he's got the tyres for it, he can go again.
He's improved. Oh, he's up into second. So he's knocked off Matt Nipris. and Matt and Matt will...
Oh, look at the difference.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
0.602 compared to 0.605.
So we're going to Rafalo. He's down.
Yeah, a bit of oversteer coming out the turn just there. I imagine he'll head back into the pits probably.
Oh well, he's up. He's up 2 tenths, a little bit over 2 tenths in the middle sector, purple middle sector, so...
whatever, show off. No, I'm kidding.
He'll...
There we go. What can he do?
Yes, he's improved it by a tenth, so... Yeah, wow, a 131.8. So... That's definitely pole. We've got... The only guy left is Josh Hill. Let's see what he can do. Can he close the gap? He's 2 tenths down in the first sector, so he's got a bit of work to catch up that time.
He keeps on pushing. He's really pushing it under brakes in that little downhill. Oh, bit
that's not going to help him. He's on the grass. Oh, nah. Yeah, he's half a second down.
Probably either overheated or died a little bit.
Yeah.
So he'll just be doing this lap probably as, a final little time.
Yeah, just a final little test.
Yeah.
Oh, jump on board. There's Chris celebrating his pole position. So well done to Chris Rafalo and Daniel Scalina, who have got their pole positions in their respective classes. So well done, guys. Wow. What a show.
It's a close gap in the Utes.
It is. So the Utes are going to be the fight to watch, I reckon.
Yeah, they will. Oh, absolutely. A 150.954 for Daniel, and then a 150.999 for Fando. So, well, what, half a tenth in it, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then, so it's actually funny. You got the front row. The front row of the Utes is Ford, and then the second row is Holden.
Yeah, so we've got a Ford 1-2, a Holden 2-3, and a Ford and Holden in the next row, and then we have Chris Nipris. Where for the V8 Supercars, leading the whole field is Chris Rafalo in the Nissan with a 131.8. Nice lap there. Josh Hill in the Holden VF with a 132.5. And Matt Nipris with a 132.5, so that's a close time. There's nothing in that, so that's going to be a good battle to watch in the race. Then we have Superstar in fourth with a 133.4, and then we have, and that's it for the V8 Supercars. So we've only got 4 V8 Supercars, which is disappointing in a way, it would be good to have a few more,
I could have sworn there was more signed up when I was looking at the list earlier.
Yeah. So
here we go. grid now.
Oops.
But that sound of the supercars idling like almost gives me anxiety in a sense. Like in my own supercars races, you're just sitting there on the grid. You just have to watch the timer count down.
Yeah, I did bad mistake. I better teleport to pits.
If you just don't hit,
yeah, unfortunately I did. So, but it's okay.
God, I'll be screwed. I don't have like any of my buttons mapped. Like I don't have a wheel on or anything. But yeah, sitting on the grid, you're just sort of watching the timer countdown because usually you've got, you know, your pitch strategy and all that. You've usually got that sorted by now.
Yeah,
and so you load that race setup.
That's what practice is for. That's what practice is for. I'm just get a good view for the race start.
You're just trying to sort of psych yourself up for the start, trying to wonder, you know, how much clutch do I use? How much power do I use?
Ooh, that was the wrong button. We've got our field. So
44 laps, which
44 laps is a long time.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a lot, but around this track, that's a pretty decently long race.
Yeah.
It'll be really interesting actually to see who gets the jump on this start. Like who nails it, who drops off a little bit.
That is a good point.
Because that can sometimes ruin your whole race. If you completely fumble the start and you go down a few positions, sometimes it's hard to recover from just simply that. Just screwing up the start, because you can put yourself a row back and then all of a sudden you're in the drama because there's cars trying to overtake you right at the start and you're going 3 wide into corners and it's just a mess.
Yeah.
The Utes aren't too bad to start. You can more or less just kind of hammer the power and then just modulate a little bit. Supercars are so hard though, especially since in Assetto Corsa we don't get you don't get a formation lap or anything, so your tyres are usually not ideal unless you've got tyre blankets, which
well, yeah. So
in this server, I don't know if we do. But, we do actually have tyre blankets, so it makes the start even more interesting.
Lights are on, so race about to start.
The red's rise. Ready for the start. Bang on the rev limiter, the lights are out, off we go.
Oh, and we've got Superstar off already.
Oh, Struth! It's a brilliant start for Rafale though. It's gotten away nicely.
Oh, we've got to look at this battle with the V8 Utes. Go on, jump on board with Rafale.
Look at that. That's a tight pack there.
So Daniel, Josh Hill off.
Oh no, yeah, what happened to Josh Hill? He's going to have to find his way through the Utes.
Jump on board with Rafale, with Matt Nipris closely following by. So it's just those two up the front with the V8 Supercars, so see how it goes. Looks like we've got...
Oh! He's crashed into the lead, the second place. He's crashed into the Hot Wheels Commodore, taking him out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a lot happening.
Jack Meredith living up to his bloody name.
And we've got Jack Meredith and Alonso off at the rear. Got a move happening here with Josh Hill and Nichols.
Yeah, Josh Hill's going to have to fight his way back through the field now. Try and get past all the Utes. Actually, has his Super following right behind.
Yeah, so like Super will just have to try to keep on the back of Josh Hill. So you know
they're both stuck behind a Ute run.
Yeah.
Oh, Super actually gets past. There we go. Josh Hill's still stuck behind Double, I believe it is. Yes, it is.
Wow, what a chaotic start.
Great. Super though, look at the run he's got. Right underneath Josh Hill. He's got the slipstream as well. I think they actually made a little bit of contact. Josh Hill went a little bit sideways there. Super looking down inside of turn 1. He's going to back out of it though. They're going to be careful of the Ute on the outside, the Ford Falcon. They do avoid it. I think the Ford was on the grass slightly, but that's okay. Super's actually just backed off now.
Yeah, he lost a bit of ground there.
So there we go, that's your Supercars back to the front. Struth, Rafale's already got a serious gap over 3 seconds.
We got Fando down. Fando would have come off the track there.
Yeah, turn 2.
Yeah, and we've got Superstar and Josh Hill have a bit of a swap. So something would have happened to Josh Hill there.
Yeah, so Hill possibly had a problem going into turn 4, or perhaps Super got a really good run out of turn 2. Wasn't watching, I was actually looking for the Utes.
Yeah, so jump on back on board with Fando, who was second or first leading the Utes. Not sure.
It was right up. It was up at the front.
Up there. So he's got a lot of ground to cover now to catch up. And so does Alfonso, sorry.
Yeah, after he got taken out by Jack.
He got taken out, yeah. That was a messy start.
I think Jack either had contact or just understeered off at turn 3, and then fired off down the grass.
Yeah.
We've actually seen a few incidents like that in supercars in real life over the years, where cars go down the grass there and they just cannonball into people trying to take the hairpin.
Yeah, they tried to brake just a little bit late to try to nosedive, but you know these V8 Ute brakes only work so good. You know.
Yeah, well, because in real life, these Utes were pretty much just road cars with the interior taken out, some standard like ECU exhaust, wheels and tires, and that was almost it.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty much as close to stock car racing as you could get in the modern era. So they were cool cars, and they've tried to emulate them in the game here. So they're big, they're heavy, they weigh an absolute ton. The tires don't have a lot of grip. There you go. So yeah, the Hot Wheels car will be trying to look to make our position just right on the back of Nippers right now, on the back of the fellow Holden. He might look for a move into the hairpin actually, that we were just talking about.
Yeah, he's got a good run.
Yeah, he's done well out of turn 2. Pin the car underneath the car you're following.
Chris covers.
Yeah.
Chris covers, he defends, he sees him.
Slows up his exit though. You can see that. Look how much ground the Hot Wheels car made up.
Yeah.
That's what defending does. It slows your speed. They make a little bit of contact. It's a good little battle here. And a long left-hander onto this back far section. They're side by side. Oh, is he going to hold around the outside? No way, he has. They're still side by side. He's actually going to get the move done on the outside of him. That was a good move. That was a really good move. He did that really well. Held the car on the outside, and because he was on the outside, he could get a better run out of the turn. So that was well done by him. That was good driving. Meanwhile, the Supercars field is fairly spread out at the moment.
It is.
Closest gap being Super and Hill at 3 and almost a half seconds between them.
So they're spread out. Might be a lonely 40-odd laps to go.
Yeah, for the Supercars.
But we'll keep an eye where David Scaluna has just done a best lap for the Utes, or personal best.
Yeah.
Oh, Fando.
Yeah, I was about to say, meanwhile in Ute land, Fando's caught up to the back of Lachlan.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, he's actually gone on the grass like Kenny.
He's held it.
I think he might have caught a bump slightly because I saw the Ute jump up into the air a bit.
And like the Ford Utes are known for that too. It's a lot more bouncier than the Holden.
Yeah, he bombed in there, probably a little bit too deep as well. Like even just a couple kilometers per hour can be the difference between a good lap and a screw up. Lachlan actually gliding nearly the whole way through turn 3 there, at the rear of the Ute, right out sideways. Gathered it back up though, and is still maintaining position in 7th overall, but 3rd in class, so in the Ute race obviously. Fando's not letting him get away though, he's sticking right behind. He'll just be looking for the place to put the move on, get a good run out of a turn somewhere and find a place to fire it up the inside. Probably not turn 1, didn't seem to go too well just before.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. It's actually made a lot of ground coming up the hill here.
Nichols just a little bit wide. Oh.
He actually had a bit of a slide there.
Yeah, I think he was pushing
on the bumps. He's going to hold it. Fando actually going to look.
Oh, he gets it done.
Side by side. That's pretty good. He got great drive in that lower speed. They're still side by side as they come to the final turn.
Yeah,
I do believe
you're not going to go side by side around that corner.
Yeah, Lachlan's going to have to back out of it there. Yeah, so he must have got much better drive out of the slow speed turn over Lachlan and was able to get up what became the inside for the next turn.
Yeah.
So that's Fando up into third in class now. Fair bit of a gap up until double there in the Holden Commodore Ute. Well, technically a Monaro, but you know, Lachlan sliding like halfway through turn 2, bombed it in there really fast, which you can sort of recover from as it's a relatively wide track. But yeah, so he managed to recover that, but yeah, he was pushing.
He was.
Actually, we've got the Supercar coming up now. Here's Rafalo. 6 laps in, and Rafalo's going to round up the Ute grid.
Yeah, so 6 laps in, and they're already getting lapped, so you can just tell the massive speed difference.
It'll probably be worse in the race as well, because as I was saying with the tyre management in the Utes, it's a really big part of driving them. So the Utes won't be going anywhere near as fast as they were in qualifying.
No.
There goes Rafalo speeding off. Next victim will be Matt Double in the Kmart Commodore. Is that the one that he's in? Yep. Kmart Ute, maybe a little bit of a callback to the old Kmart Racing Commodore of old in the V8 Supercars in your early 2000s. Rafalo get past on the main straight, no worries. That's Rafalo onto lap 7 now. Fair bit of a gap between all the cars now. That final battle between Fando and Lachlan has sorted itself out.
Yeah. But we've got... I'm sure Alfonso coming on back of Nichols now. Nichols gone out wide.
Actually, yeah, hang on, yeah.
I just saw that.
Oh,
he's
no,
off.
He's off turn 2. He's bombed it.
He's off.
He's run wide there again. So probably the same mistake as last time, just going a little bit too deep into that corner.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's caught him out. And it can be really hard. Once you start to go in there too deep, it can be quite hard to arrest the speed of the car without running off. Because you're already sort of towing quite a fine line at that turn 2 with the different lines you are able to take.
Yep.
And so if you bomb it in a bit too deep, then it doesn't go well. Super had just gone, yeah, Super's actually gone off at turn 2 as well. Turn 2 a hot spot for mistakes. Super's actually spun, almost half spun again. He spun out the rear tyres trying to recover the car, so he'll have overheated those rear tyres.
Well, this is where maybe this is where the tyres start dying off.
Yeah, possibly. Tyre wear starting to show, especially with some of those early lap battles. They probably would have hurt the tyres a bit as well.
Yeah.
The closest cars at the moment are Nippers and
Nichols. Lachlan.
About 1 second between those two. Supercars have got a massive spread throughout their fields, truth. Farlow holding a 9-second lead at the moment. So he'll be quite comfortable.
It'll be good. I was just wondering when they're going to be looking to pit. Like, so what's the strategy here? Like, do you pit once? Do you pit twice? Being the V8 Supercars, so we'll jump on board with Farlow, which has a hefty 9.4 second lead. So he can probably start looking at maybe looking after his tyres.
Yeah, you wouldn't imagine he's pushing too hard at the moment. It'll just be counting down the laps, and yeah, I've no idea what the pit strategy actually is for either category. I haven't been in the driver's seat for a little while actually.
He's lighting up the rears now.
Sideways.
That's not
Meredith
looking after your tyres there.
Meredith gone really deep at,
Oh.
is that turn 2? I can't actually really tell. Turn, yeah, 2. So, yeah, I think you might have caught it right in that the tyres might be starting to die for the cars a little bit. So that's,
Yeah.
well, I think that's the third car we've seen off at turn 2 now in just the last 2 or 3 minutes. So drivers can have to start to back off a little bit.
Well, he's sideways there. He's obviously cooked his tyres and
Yeah, well and truly.
and unfortunately, you do have to really know how to use your throttle with these cars, like to try to be fast and be and trying to warm down or cool down your tyres. So
Just sliding everywhere. He's in last. He's probably given up any hope of doing well. Spivey's also said, Meredith, what you doing? Yeah, we don't know, Spivey. We don't know. He's not being fast. That's what he's doing. Yeah, so I think he alone is 35 seconds off of the next car in front in the Ute grid. He's just sliding the car everywhere. He's
yeah.
clearly giving up all hope. I hear a supercar coming up to him. Is it a follow?
I wonder just when he's gonna have that rage quit moment.
Can't imagine it's too far away, eh?
No. So let's just jump on board Daniel Scalino. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid saying his name entirely just to be safe.
I'm just gonna call him Danny. Come on, Danny boy.
He's doing quite well.
Look, you got Matt Double, who's not, he's still got his eyes on him. It's a long race, so
yeah, it's the kind of gap where he's in a comfortable lead of the Ute race for the moment, but he still can't really afford to make any mistakes because then he'll have Double all over him.
That's right.
So.
And it all depends. Like, and I haven't actually either that. I'm running the Utes. I haven't actually done an extensive test on the tyres, and I'm not sure what the wear rate is. So it could be a strategy in Matt Double's because I know he's fast and he's up there fast.
Yeah, you reckon he might just be savouring the tyres a little bit?
Look, I don't think he'll want to give any more gap than what he's got now.
Yeah.
So let's see. It's a long race. We're only 10 laps. We're 10 laps down for the V8 Supercars. So I'm thinking.
Yeah, the Utes would be
the
on.
The Utes are going to be on like maybe 30.
9?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Now. So you got 39 laps.
Raffaello hasn't quite lapped them again.
Raffaello's on 9 laps, right? So I actually can check this. So they're only 1 lap down, except for Meredith, who's 2 laps down.
Yeah, Raffaello's just lapped Meredith. He'll slowly start catching the rest of the Utes as Raffaello just comes through turn 1 now.
So let's check who's actually gained. So let's just see who's gained the most and who's lost the most. So Matt Nipris is up 1 position, where Josh Hill's down 1, and Superstars is where he started. Danny's still in first. Matt Double's actually gained 2 spots since the start, so that's a good job for him. Both Fando and Alfonso, is down 1, and Chris Nippers is up 2. So keep an eye on that.
Spivey also says in the chat he's getting a right roasting after this, talking about Jack Meredith. He's still just sliding around everywhere. I mean, it looks very impressive, but it's not very fast. He's almost a minute behind the next Ute.
if you're Jack, I'll just wait until you're right behind Nichols or something again, and then just race him. Even that you're a lap down. You know what I mean?
Well, considering that he's just gone
He's
off
off
at
again.
turn 4, yeah.
He's off
He's
again.
just sliding around him. He's just given up on racing.
So, you know, if I was him, that's what I'll do. I'll just wait until you're behind Lachlan again, and then yeah, he's just drifting for fun now. Oh, that's actually that's a fair effort.
Now, there's a fair bit of angle on that.
That was a
so
fair
easy
effort
to
there.
drift, but they're really fun for that. I think he's made a cock up though. Yeah, he has. He got the wheels on the dirt and spun it round.
Yeah, I see a DNF for him.
Round. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because
It's
he can be fast when he wants to be. So
yeah, no, I was just about to go there. He's so annoying because he can be really fast, but he's just nowhere near consistent enough. He can be quick in, like, even in a supercar, he can be sort of he can be quite decent. But, you know, 3 laps into the race or whatever, he'll just bomb it wide at one of the turns and then he's ruined his whole race. Or he'll crash into someone and get a massive penalty for it. He's really irritating like that. He could be a lot more than what he is.
yeah.
Spider says, what a silly, silly man.
Well,
I agree.
You know, I've been watching Fando and I've been watching his times. Oh, and he's nearly taken out Fando as I was just speaking about him. You know, it's fair enough you're being frustrated, but you don't want to knock off someone. You don't want to impede into other people's drive, and that's sort of what he's doing, and sort of starting to be like a little bit unacceptable. So let's just focus on Fando. As I was saying that, Fando has been coming at Matt Double. He was 5 seconds the last time I checked away from Matt Double, and it was 3 seconds one, but I'm guessing as we're talking about Jack Meredith in the background there, just going out of control. But Fando is actually closing gap to Matt Double, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Hopefully we get a bit of a battle at the front of the Ute grid again.
Yeah.
Hopefully they find a way to close it up a bit.
Yeah, I agree. He's sort of acting a muck there. Big announce gaming.
Yeah, that's Spivey.
Spivey, yeah, I thought so. Xavier would be angry. I think everyone's angry because, like,
It's even just the fact his drifting isn't even that good. He keeps on making mistakes.
Yeah, I'm just not going to focus on it. You had your limelight, mate.
yeah, you had your screen time now, bugger off. So our closest gap at the moment is actually pretty much that Fando to Double.
Well, Fando is closing.
Yeah, he is. Now
you know, and he sees.
Pointed it out to me.
You know, we'll jump on board because he sees Matt there up in the foreground as he gives way to Matt Nipris.
Yeah, he's done well there actually. Just put the car out of the way. It's a smart thing to do.
Hasn't lost much time. We'll see what Matt Double's time does. Let's see what a 152.4 for Matt Double, and Fando a 152.5. So he's just off.
Possibly slightly hurt by being overtaken by the supercar though. So
yeah.
It's only a tenth. So you can imagine it could just be that.
But it's a double-edged sword because Matt Double just let Matt pass.
Yeah, so you could really see that he'd really thrown it into turn 2 there.
Yeah.
I can actually see, because I'm just watching from the third-person camera still, and he just started understeering a little bit into the turn, but then the car actually started to grip up and turn in. That's why I sort of hesitated for a second. I was like, oh, I wasn't sure if the car was going to get around the corner or not, but it did, so he was doing well. He's got some decent pace in the car at the moment.
Yeah.
Apparently Chris Nipris is going for a no-stop.
Oh, go for a no-stop. Oh, can he make it without fuel? That's a good question. Okay.
Is Chris Nipris in the Ute or?
Yeah, Chris is in the Ute in the Mobile 1.
Yeah, he's in the Ute. Okay. Cool.
In the Ute. So
I don't know like half these people.
Yeah.
I just see Chris Nippers and I'm like, shit, which one's that? Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I don't know. So, well, I'm assuming that it must be possible on fuel if he's going for it. I'm actually pretty sure these Utes don't use a terrible amount of fuel.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure. Okay. Just bear me 1 second if you just want to continue commentary.
Yeah. He's actually being slowly caught up by Mr. Lachlan behind him. The gap's about 2.1 seconds. Double and I think Fando's actually, yeah, he's taking a bit of time out of double on that lap. That gap's down to 3 seconds now. Got about a 2-second gap between Lachlan and Nipris at the moment. Nipris with the 133.9 and yeah, Lachlan with the 133.2. So he's coming at him. Different tyres in different phases of the race. Maybe.
Oh, sorry about that, man.
Yeah, no, good.
Just trying to get.
Oh, we're trying to get the next commentary member up.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. On Chris's stream, he has 34 laps of fuel left at the moment, apparently.
37?
Yeah, so 34 laps of fuel. According to old mate in our chat, so... Meredith is the biggest flog of the year, says Spivey. Actually, we better start focusing on this Nipris and Lachlan battle. That's down to less than a second now. It's 8 tenths.
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Yeah, so Nipris clearly doesn't have a lot of pace in his tyres at the moment, whereas Lachlan perhaps wasn't pushing as hard early on, and he's still got a little bit more life in his tyres compared to the other car. And yeah, he's been coming at him for the last little bit. Gap's at about a second at the moment. Just going to find that little bit extra just to push into that sort of less than 6 tenths range. That's when you can really start sort of looking to have an attack. Let's see what their lap times are. This will actually be quite a good indicator. Nipris 134.3, then 420, nice. So about a tenth separating those two at the moment in terms of lap time. And we just saw that as Nipris was coming at him, then kind of dropped off in the last couple of turns. So either made a mistake or perhaps Lachlan is slightly stronger in those couple final turns, which is so hard to do. Really hard to get the car going straight, and you've got to keep quite a low amount of throttle percentage on the car as you're coming out of there, especially as your tyres start to die as well. So I think that may have just settled down a little bit. Meredith goes yellow again. Is stopped. Are we gonna get the DNF that we're expecting? Just sitting there. Oh no, I think actually, for possibly the first time in his life, he was being smart and waiting for other cars to go past. Actually, a little bit proud of him. So I think Nipris, it's interesting. I'm pretty sure that they're both roughly the same in the first sector. Nipris is probably stronger in the second sector, then possibly Lachlan stronger in the third sort of little part of the track. We'll just see here for confirmation of that. It could have just been a mistake on Lachlan's part last lap. You see, Lachlan's got a really good drive out of that final turn. He's gained about a tenth in turn.
And welcome, Drav.
Well, there we go. Another bloke. G'day, g'day.
Hello.
Hey. So it took that time. Yeah. So this is starting to shape up to be a good battle between Chris Nipris and Lachlan. But as I said, Fando's starting to close the gap to Matt Double as well. So
Slowly getting there. Well, as the V8 Supercars come around again. Actually, I think has Super been lapped? Because Super's right behind Rafalo. So he must have been lapped, sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
He is, or just about to be. But we also, Jack Meredith actually eventually gave up and into the pits.
He's in the pits.
Maybe.
I think I saw him driving into the pit lane, so he could be after new tyres. The gap now between the two Utes is absolutely nothing at all. The Supercars trying to lap them has really benefited Lachlan here. He's right on the back of the hold. I said you've got to get into that sort of below 6/10 range before you can have attack. He's below 4/10 at the moment. He's gotten really good drive onto this back fast section. He got Super just sitting behind them at the moment, possibly just letting the two guys go at it and have their own battle. Super doesn't want to get in the way of these two. The gap is almost nothing. It's under 2/10 at the moment as they come up to the top of the hill. What will Lachlan do coming down into this tight right-hander? Will he go for a move down on the bumps? No, he doesn't. Nipris ran the car slightly defensive, placed it where it needed to be so he couldn't put the move on. Lachlan can't quite do the switchback either, again because of where Nipris places his car. Just enough in the way where Lachlan isn't able to put the car up the inside. The gap's still absolutely nothing though. Lachlan will be looking for a really good exit out of the final turn here. Coming down into turn 1. Super will probably pass him here with just the brute power of the supercar.
Oh, it's contact!
Super got
Wow.
the power weight, that's going to be...
Superstar will be... I just caught the tail end of that. I didn't actually see what happened.
Super basically had been sitting behind the two Utes, trying to let them have their battle, which, you know, quite respectful of him, good on him. But coming onto the front straight, Super's tried to get past them, and I think he's just gotten a bucket load of wheel spin trying to get past on the straight too soon, and he's just careened into the side of Lachlan and robbed us of what was going to be a great battle. So that's really unfortunate for Lachlan there. Super's actually still just sitting behind him at the moment. Probably feels guilty as hell.
Hey Drab, how are you finding the race so far? I'm not sure if you've been watching.
I'm watching the YouTube one and
You're just struggling to hear you there a little bit, man.
let me see.
Yeah.
Any better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, that's way better.
Excellent. Yeah, I was watching the YouTube one initially and I was very delayed, so...
Yeah, well, I put my share screen on, so I'm not sure if you saw that, so...
Yeah,
I'll just switch to that now, it's way easier, just so I can see what you're looking at.
Ah,
That's-
okay. But I just noticed Superstar has quit,
Oh,
so...
actually, yeah, they're gone, it's DNF'd.
He's gone, you know, I don't think he was happy about that, or with himself, and that's unfortunate.
It's really, I feel so bad for Lachlan though, especially.
Yeah, because he was having quite a good battle.
It was right there with Nipris.
Yeah, the question is, does a pretty big impact? How much damage has Lachlan's car sustained? And how steady are his Utes?
Yeah, you'd hope it's just body damage. I'm not actually sure what the damage level is on.
For long races, you'd expect 50%. Plus, I think if it's a panel damage, I don't think he hit the wall, so hopefully car's okay.
Yeah, we can only hope. Looking towards the front of the Utes though, it's still hovering around 3 seconds between that front Falcon just being able to hold that gap. And Double desperately trying to catch up a bit. He made up about a second and probably about a second and a half. He made up in there at the time, but he's just lost that little bit of push.
So, was there an incident or anything, or is Cicluna just outright faster at the moment?
Apart from that
Fando,
incident,
Fando pulled him. I saw the qualifying times. Fando was well up on time, but now he's further back. So, yeah, can somebody fill me in what happened? I missed the start of the race.
I think there's little just like mistakes here, and I'm pretty sure Fando was one of the cars that ran wide at turn 2. So that put him down a bit, and then...
Well, it was a bit weird because Matt Double has really caught up back to Danny, and Fando has dropped off from Matt double. So I think Daniel and Fando have both made mistakes, which helps Matt double because
then,
the gap is.
Oh, actually.
And Fando's in the pits,
Yeah,
so he's had enough.
So he's the first one. He's the first one to blink.
Yeah.
I was just to question whether Fando was going to do a non-stopper, as he was hinting at during the chat prior to the race.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Nipris is doing apparently. We'll see if he comes out.
So let's see where Chris Nipris comes onto the main straight. Fando, I think they're doing the long pit straight, so he's got a bit to go, and Chris passes him.
Yeah, it's the motorcycle pit lane. This one.
Yeah, so that's he's taking. Oh, geez, that just seems like an eternity.
Doesn't it? It should probably end a little bit sooner than that, so you're more at the race speed of the of the other cars, but it doesn't matter that much. However,
go back
Fando will have fresh tyres now, though, so that'll be
that's right.
To keep an eye on.
Yeah, but his 11 seconds behind Alfonso. Oh no, that's not a pass. That's just
Alfonso got really screwed over by Jack Meredith right at the start of the race.
Yeah.
Came down into turn 4 and Jack Meredith was off on the grass and took Alfonso out, poor bloke. So he's had a bit of a race of just trying to recover.
Yeah, so the tail end of that, Jack was doing some questionable things. It looked impressive, but drivers were trying to race still.
Yeah. Is Jack just still like drifting? Is that what is? Actually like racing again?
I hope he's racing.
That looks like racing. Looks like racing. I think is racing. It's hard to tell with Jack. So the gap at the front of the Ute field, it's still around that 3-second mark.
Oh, Fando off. Daniel off. Oh. He's gone wide.
Just as I started talking.
Yeah, I went to go on board, and well, this has given Matt Double something to push for. So
yeah, that's cost Daniel about a second and a half, over a second and a half. That's ultimately cost him, and he's still losing a bit of time now. Actually. Yeah,
so let's see how much he's. And Alfonso's in pits.
Yeah, Alfonso. So starting to see some of the Utes pit. We'll see how Nipris does with his no stop.
Yeah,
follows the.
I reckon they're gonna find out that the tyres probably aren't gonna last 30, 35 plus laps. So
with these guys,
I reckon I'll pit personally.
Don't think I've ever run this car. Well, I'm very inexperienced with the long runs on these, but the main thing is just making sure you don't go sideways in it. The moment you do that, the rears overheat.
Yeah, good luck with that though.
It's easier said than done, granted,
yeah, especially when you're in the race.
Now the big question is Matt high on alcohol or is he sober? Because apparently he can fly when he's drunk in these cars.
He's probably got the one hand on the bottle and the other hand on the wheel, mate.
And also he's faster when he's apparently sleepy, so we're expecting him to start doing record-breaking laps towards the end of the race.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, this is because
we need to get this man into like 24-hour endurance racing then.
So because this is H pattern, you know, probably what Matt Double's got. He's got one of those drinking hats, you know, with the straws coming down, you know, having a few sips. Because you're pretty busy in these cars with the H shifters and all that. So.
I love a good H pattern.
H pattern. Sorry, yeah. Yep.
So good. I don't know. It's just the fun of it. So. Still,
I must have missed this, but Chris Rafalo was in the pits.
Yeah, I called it.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
I must have missed it.
I didn't listen to you. That's just hurtful.
Sorry. I was probably focusing on something else.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm on alcohol by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rafalo was the first of the supercars to blink and put new tyres on at, what? About the halfway point, pretty much. So. Your bog standard strategy, really.
Yeah.
Race to halfway, pit, and then keep going. And double again. He's not really able to attack much. He's just sort of able to kind of maintain the gap. They must be pretty much almost identical for pace, those two at the moment at the front.
Well, the best lap Double has done is a 151.7, and the best Daniel's done is a 151.5. So they're not that far off. The last lap
Yeah,
for
close.
Daniel was a 154.7, and Matt has done a 153 flat. So he's closing.
Things
It's
in these
actually
cars,
amazing.
these guys are so hard to push, so you have to try to do a late braking maneuver. The back end steps out, you risk hitting the other car. It'll be interesting how hard these guys are. Sorry, how hard these cars are close to race.
Yeah. Well,
Double's actually he's made a little bit of ground this lap. He's made about 2/10 or so, roughly.
well, let's see what the lap times
Actually,
are.
probably about 3/10. More than 3/10. Daniel must have
Daniel
got
has done a 153.2 and Matt a 152.8.
Yeah, 4/10.
So,
So yeah, exactly as I was calling. I think Daniel got a rubbish. He's actually made it even another 10th just now, double. So Daniel must have got an atrocious exit out of the final turn.
Or his tyres are dead.
He lost heaps of time.
Oh, he's wide.
Oh, the gap's going to be absolutely nothing now. Here we go, battle for the lead of the Ute race at the moment. 4th overall. So here we go, the gap is about, what, sort of
Half a
4.5
second.
tenths, give or take. Goes super disconnects from the servo again. So he might be having connection issues, which he has had in the past. The two leaders in the Ute, however, the Ute series come down into turn 4. Double still just can't quite attack. There just must be nothing left in those tyres to attack with.
So the question now is if Daniel's looking more weary on the tyres, pit early, get a couple of good laps out, undercut, and then hope you survive at the end.
That's what I was thinking. I was really wondering if these two are going to pit, because apparently we've got some of the Utes going for a no-stop. If these two are going to pit, when do they do it? Because, yeah, exactly as you were saying, you wonder if they look for the undercut.
Well, Fando's 4 seconds behind Chris Nipris.
It was 8 seconds not long ago, so he's
Yeah,
making up a chunk of
well,
time.
it was 10 or 11 seconds when he exited pit. So
what are the lap times like? What's Chris doing at the moment compared to the front guys?
so Chris Nipris's last lap was a 153.4, and Fando has done 151.
Oh,
So
is that Daniel in the pits? It is! Daniel pits, double
oh,
saves
he's
out.
gone sideways. He's lost it.
No.
He's held it.
Spirited entrance into the
He goes.
So it'll be
Better be some
what'll
quick
be
work
really
on the
interesting
menu.
is- Yeah, what does
Change
double
some
do? What
Oh,
does double do?
double will have to
Double
respond.
pit.
He will have to
Yeah,
respond.
Sure.
Surely.
He must have missed it. He must have missed Danny going to the pit lane and couldn't react fast enough to bring his car in as well.
Yeah.
Or he's committed to a no stop, but I highly doubt it. I reckon
Yeah,
he'll have to respond, and I reckon Daniel may have the undercut if he can get a good outlap in. Yeah, Daniel looked like he was starting to struggle those last couple of laps though.
How much performance does he still have left in these tyres?
Oh, I don't think much. I don't think much at all.
Yeah, because I reckon Daniel, the last probably 3 laps, I reckon his tyres must have just started going off a bit more. Because Double just started creeping up on him a little bit more than he had been.
So, Superstar, rage quit because no point when I keep leaving the track when you can't hold the line. Yeah, that was an unfortunate incident, mate. Unlucky. Unlucky, it happens. So let's see what Matt Double does now. Danny comes behind Fando.
So
Yeah,
that'll
only
be flying
just.
laps.
Okay, Fando has actually jumped him then, because Fando
Yeah.
is pitted.
Well, it looks like he'll be in the second class faster per lap, so it was a good undercut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
You've got to pit. The tyres,
wow.
the fresh tyres are too good, I reckon. You've got to pit.
Well, that is an extraordinary.
Where's Double?
Well, actually, at the moment, Matt
Double doesn't
is...
have the lap.
So, if Matt's going for a non-stopper, he's 34 seconds in the lead. If he can maintain a lap
Yeah.
slower pace, or even 2 seconds a lap, he could win this still.
Yeah, that's a big if. Like when those tires fall off the cliff, I'm thinking that's.
Yeah, he does also have to do full, like, what?
Well,
call
he's
it
done a
maybe-
152.8, which is a not too bad of a time. on his last lap, compared to Fando, who did a 151.2 on his last lap.
There's
Right
also
now,
a little bit of battle
Fander's
here
got a bit
too,
of traffic, sort of.
Yeah, so he's caught up to Chris.
Nipris going for the no stop.
Oh, Nichols was out. DNF.
Oh! Yeah, crap.
Oh, he's on chat. I'm holding the one line in the Utes behind another Ute from the point of the V8. Yeah,
Well, here we go, around the outside.
Fando, yep. Looking around the outside of Nipris. He'll have way more grip than
Oh,
Chris.
Nipris,
Chris gets
he's
massively sideways on the
gone.
exit. Yeah, Fando's going to get him easy.
Yeah.
So much more grip. Chris got a
Oh, careful on the grass.
Making him a bit nervous there, mate.
Just hit, go a little bit sideways behind Fando, scare the crap out of him, make him run wide, retake the position.
There we go. Now Fando will be on the hunt. It'll be so interesting to see their lap times now double to Fando.
Yeah.
How do they compare? This lap probably won't count too much because Fando had to deal with that traffic, but next lap,
Well, see,
see what they do.
Matt Double's on a 153.9, 154, so that's starting to really be a bit.
I reckon he should have pitted.
Yeah, well, obviously, he's got Chris Rafale coming up behind him, gives him room.
So he's just done a 53.9. Fando with traffic, he'll.
Well, Fando's on prediction time on a 152.3, so this might be close.
I mean, it is still a 34-second gap. Like that's a lot.
It is.
But that's a big gap. And we have to remember that if Double were to pit, he'd be down near Daniel, right? And he's way further down the road again.
He'll be behind Daniel by a fair bit, I would say.
Oh, we've got Daniel. We've got Alfonso right on the back of.
Hang on. That's a pretty close gap. They're just coming around the final, really long turn of Phillip Island, coming out into the main straight. You've got a really good exit there.
Did something happen to Daniel? Because Daniel wasn't that far off Fando.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's 20 seconds back. That must have been a huge accident somewhere.
So something would have happened.
Yeah, something's not right about that.
Oh, watch this battle though. I wonder what happened with him.
Yeah, I haven't noticed anything. So Alfonso looking right. He'll be looking for the movement to turn 4. Can't quite get it done. Daniel very deep though into turn 4. So it's interesting how this is played out in the pit stops for the Ute race.
Yeah.
And then the Supercars are pretty much just sorted where they are now in that first, second, third positions.
Well, it's just good to see different pit stop strategies. So now you have 2 races.
Yeah.
What happens?
Everyone's different methodology into should I pit, and if I do pit, when do I pit?
But you'd hope that both the guys are not just testing out a non-stop on a whim. Somebody must have done a bit of long distance running to see that they could actually make it.
Yeah.
And if they haven't done it and they're still going to get close to the win, then bloody hell, that's a ballsy move.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's Nipris at the moment because Nipris he's decided to do a no stop, and he's done a 154.8. So yeah, he's losing speed.
Oh, he's off.
Yeah, Alfonso off. I just looked to my second monitor for a second and looked back, and I just see the Ute off. So
Yeah.
it was pushing really
That's
hard.
all it takes.
It's so easy there as well because the car, you're turning for so long, the car's already loaded on the right-hand side. And so if you just drop a wheel or two onto the grass just drags you out off the track.
Yeah, these guys are scary. The moment you get off track, you pretty much just dead stop and just turn around.
Yeah, it can be hard to hold on to then. So Fando in the last little bit has made up, call it maybe 2 or 3 seconds on double. Bouncing around a little bit, but probably roughly around that.
That's alright, Meredith will make it interesting.
Yeah, how long until he starts just drifting again? I think he's actually following Fando, is he not? Yeah, he is.
What is Meredith's lap time when he's not messing about? He should have fresh tyres. The car should be pretty good at the moment.
He's on the 2 minutes.
But it's Jack.
Oh, 2 minutes. Something
His
happened.
his last time was 2 minutes.
He's 9 minutes behind the next car. 9 minutes behind Alfonso to be exact. So that's everyone quite spread out at the moment. We have, oh, there's Jack sliding around the final turn. Currently, the way the race sits, you've got the supercars, which are probably just going to finish in those positions. With Rafalo first, Nipris second, almost 50 seconds off of Rafalo. So Rafalo well and truly in the lead. And you got Josh Hill about another 8 seconds off Nipris. So unless Nipris suddenly really slows down, that's probably where the supercars will end. The Utes have an interesting way to play out there because we have Double in the lead of the Ute race by about 30 seconds. However, he appears to be going for a no-stop, which I actually think might work out because Fando's not catching up as quick as I thought it was going to be.
It's more if there's a cliff coming for Matt. And also, Cicluna all of a sudden pulls the fastest lap of the race, so he's coming at Nipris as well.
Yeah. So it's that point of the race where you're just sort of waiting for the strategies to play out in probably 4 or so laps time. We'll start to see, 4 or 5 laps. We'll start to see who's on pace and who's lost the pace.
And so you got the two mentalities as well. The two guys on the new tires are just pushing like hell, getting every little bit of their tires, maybe pushing too hard. Then you have Matt and Chris are just feathering the car everywhere, making sure they don't make any mistakes, keeping the cars as alive as possible.
Yeah, well, they still have over 10 laps to do on tyres that will be very dead by this point. Especially remembering, we're at Phillip Island here. It's not very kind to tyres, this track. It never has been. Especially for big, well, cars really. I was going to say touring cars, but just kind of cars in general. Really not very nice to tyres.
And then the Utes are the best for grip at the best of times, and on worn tires I can't imagine what these things are feeling like at the moment.
So Fando, on that last lap, Fando was about 1.8 seconds quicker, I think, than Double.
Well, that's not enough, Matt. Fando needs to be 2 seconds a lap at this rate, if actually more than that.
Yeah, I think Double might have actually... I was skeptical, because unless the tyres suddenly really die off, I think Double may have this. Because Fando isn't catching him. Like, I thought Fando was just going to be, like that little bit quicker, but he's just not quite.
Well, see, Matt Double did a 153.8 last lap.
Yep.
And Fando did a 152 flat. So 1.8 seconds.
That's under 2 seconds a lap, so
yeah.
Matt. And the other thing is, when Fando gets there, his tires will be a bit older as well, and you still have to try to overtake.
Yeah.
Meredith is yellow. What's he done? He's off at the hairpin. Seems to be a favoured crashing point of his. Yeah, everyone's still got a decent gap, so it's just gone under 28 seconds between Double and Fando. And
we got Josh Hill and Matt Nipris.
Yeah, wait a second. That gap's gone from 8.5 seconds to...
Matt had a 40-second last lap, so he had a big accident somewhere, or big off somewhere.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yes, we have a V8 Supercar battle.
Wait till this battle catches up to another battle, then that could be even more fun.
Yeah, he's lost so much time there, because that gap was about 8.5, nearly 9 seconds. It's now down to 1.5.
Yeah, well, the last lap Nipris did was a 140. And Hill did a 133, so he must have gone off.
And Fando, I think, made a mistake, because the gap is now up to 32 seconds, and we're down to below 28.
Oh, Fando, no!
Come on, Fando.
He's
We're
supposed to
waiting
be
for
giving
the
us.
excitement.
He's supposed to be giving us a battle. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
done that last lap 156. Oh, that would have hurt.
I reckon that's possibly almost undone him. Gap 1 second though between Nipris and Hill though in the Supercars race, which I was already calling finished pretty much, but commentator's curse has spoken too soon. Possibly.
Matt heard you and you said race finish. You say? Well,
Yeah.
let me show you.
So you, oh whoops. But you can see just the glow of the brake discs in those heavy braking zones near the start of the lap, especially coming down to turn 2. They're actually coming up to Alfonso, I believe that was, just ahead of them. So it's 6/10 now, so that's right under 6/10. That's right when I say you can sort of start to show the nose a bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Start probing.
Dudley, have a little, just show the nose a bit and let them know that you're there.
Oh, Fonzo.
Almost held up.
Didn't make it
Alfonso,
easy for him.
Yeah, he just opened up the steering at like the last possible second. So that was a little bit close for comfort, but we got away with it.
Isn't it nice seeing your car not having tail slides, turning where it's supposed to, braking controllably?
It's funny, geez, Josh Hill's car really doesn't look too happy coming down into that right-hander there. It's always just a little bit on edge, I find, every single time. So whether that's just Josh Hill really pushing or maybe the setup doesn't quite like the turn, I'm not sure. But every time there, the car doesn't look too good. So you probably won't see Josh going for a move there because his car, I just don't think his car's quite strong enough. It's not quite stable enough. It's not quite planted. Come through turn 1 though. God, they're throwing him so deep there. We've got to be careful of the Ford Ute. Get around that with no worries.
That was good driving by everyone. That's a tough corner to try to overtake.
Yeah, Ford did well to get out of the way. It was Daniel actually. Daniel, good work on him. Yeah, just putting the car out of the way. It's what you have to do when you're a slow car being lapped and or you're in a multi-class race. You just got to, be smart, place your car off the racing line. And it sounds simple, but some people genuinely suck at doing that. Some people are crap, some people are rubbish at it. So, no, good on him. Good on him for that.
Well, that's
Josh Hill, however, has gotten the gap to nothing.
Yep.
So it's 3/10 now. We're just coming up, about 4/10. Just coming up into this section of the track where watch Josh Hill's car. I'm still not convinced it's quite happy down here. I'll watch closely here. See, it just moved ever so slightly again. Although, so did Nipris. So, probably about even through there.
I would just drive in the passenger seat, screwed up his whole car balance. The weight distribution.
He's the driver. It's like his ballast.
Josh will just be wanting to get a tiny bit closer before he actually goes for a move. It's more just that 6/10 gap where he can start to be threatening. Actually, right as I say that, he gains about another 10th through turn 1. So it must have been a bit later on the race. He runs it very wide into turn 2, looking for a very late apex. Then he gets stuck behind a Ute, actually. I'm not sure which Ute that is. Can't quite see the name tag, but we're going to get past. Yeah, it's under 3/10 now. Watch for Josh here down into turn 4.
That'd be Fando, I think they went past.
Nipris wants to, was it okay? Yeah, Nipris runs the car defensive. Josh Hill right on the back of him though. Running defensive at turn 4, it slows up your exit speed so much. You're going to be so careful not to get crisscrossed at the exit of that turn there. Gill in a wider line through the left-hander, looking for a faster exit out of this turn onto the back sort of far section. Although Nipris actually seems to have gotten the slightly better exit, gaining about half a tenth or so. Here we come again, the slow right-hander. Do they both get through it okay? Josh actually, for the first time in a few laps, his car actually looked okay through there. Didn't really move out on him.
It's a tough track to overtake because turn 1 is a long sweeper, so that's not really an option. and most other ones, the straights aren't big enough to actually have a big slipstream.
Yeah, turn
Okay.
1 can only be an overtaking move if the person in front has a truly awful exit out of the final turn. You can get alongside them already. Yeah, otherwise you can't really go for a dive there. Turn 2 sometimes, but you've again got to have a really good run on them. So still just sticking behind. Actually, a little bit of oversteer at the exit of turn 2 there, Josh Hill. He's just looking around at the moment, looking to the left and right of the Nissan Altima in front of him. Rafalo's yellow. Rafalo's actually had an off. Don't worry, he's got plenty of time to spare. Nipris.
Oh, sideways, come on. What's
Bucket
happened?
load wheel spin. Josh Hill is actually going to get down the inside and get the move done. Nipris got a massive amount of oversteer when he picked up the throttle. He tried to pick it up really early. He's actually got more wheel spin there, so he's cooked the rear tyres ever so slightly. And actually lost almost a second now to Josh Hill. So well played by Josh Hill there. Just sat the car behind him. Just put pressure and pressure and pressure on Nipris. And has actually gotten the move done now, as Nipris made a small mistake, got the throttle a little bit too early. And excited the rear of the car too much.
And Nipris has to be careful now. Take a few calm corners, get the tyres under control, and then try to fight back. If he's got the pace.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You just sort of, you know, you've still got time. You've still got there's still a few laps left. Lap 37 at the moment. So you just sort of take a lap or so for the pressures to equalise without letting Josh get too much more of a gap. Although in saying that, I think Nipris has been hurt by that Ute a little bit.
Yeah, he must have caught it right on the apex. Nowhere really to go. And speaking of that, have a look at the gap. Fando to Matt double. Matt can almost just coast this at 4 seconds a lap slower at this rate.
Yeah, he's all good. He's got no worries at all.
We've got Chris Nipris and Fando swapping positions.
Oh, Nipris has gone off. So Nipris...
Oh, what happened here?
He's just made, I believe he's just made a mistake in the second, into turn 2. I actually only caught the very end of that. But, so yeah, as right as we were saying, he needs to take it easy for a lap or so. He's bombed it into turn 2 and the tyres will still be boiling hot.
Yeah.
They're probably quite worn out too. These super soft tyres, they're only really fast and really grippy for a couple of laps, and then they get to a sort of state where they've still got some grip, but they really don't have a sort of, I want to say like a snappy grip, for lack of a better term. They're just sort of, they're a lot more neutral almost in their grip, and once you get them overheated around a track like this with lots of long turns, it can be really hard to cool them back down a bit.
So Matt, I've seen him a couple of times like this where he's got insane pace, but then he'll just all of a sudden pull a mistake out of somewhere, drop a heap of time, and he just can't come back from that.
Sounds like someone else I know, Jack.
I think, was it the GTM series that we raced? Matt was almost like the start qualifier. He was the benchmark, and then in the race he was just one little mistake and then boom.
Yeah, he was really quick in the DTMs.
Yeah, some people are like that though, aren't they? They're just quicker in qualifying than they are in race, and then some people are the opposite of that. Some people are rubbish in qualifying, but then they can always make up positions in the race.
Is Fando starting to have a bit of fun? The ass is coming out and starting to get some flair going.
Yeah,
Well, Fando's in the 52s, where Double is in the 55s.
Oh, Struth.
So
Double really losing speed.
Yeah, so Double last lap did a 55 flat, and Fando did a 52.3.
So we've got what, lap 38, so 6 laps to go, and we've got 24 seconds. So that's, what's my math here? 6 times 4 is 24. So you can afford 4 seconds a lap at this rate.
Yeah. If he has one off, then he'll be in a bit of trouble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Double's going to have to be a little bit careful now. Just, you know, don't push the car, you know. It's not worth trying to push for an extra 10th or 2. Just drive the car around, you know, take it easy. Even if you brake, like, you know, just a couple meters earlier than you really need to, just to play it safe. That's what he's got to do now, just to bring the car home, essentially.
The thing is with these guys as well, if you come off the throttle through a mid-speed corner completely, the arse comes around. So if you start to just get too lazy and start coasting through corners, it can actually bite you. You have to,
Yeah, he's really got to concentrate still. Oh, this is hard, what he's doing. You can hear, actually, you can hear just how little throttle percentage that he's using. Just to treat the car as nicely as he possibly can. Yeah,
Nice,
low
and better lap.
down in the rev range. So
And that's a 54-second lap, so he's...
There we go. So yeah, that was a better lap. He looked more. He looked under control on that lap.
If Fernando didn't have that off, we'll be down to... How much did he lose? 4 seconds in his accident, so we'll be down into the 18-19 second gap.
Yeah.
That would just make that double look a little bit closer to the time.
Meredith just continues to go yellow. I'm sure, yeah, he's just drifting again. Dumbass. So, Double currently, the leader of the Utes, is 5 laps down on the Supercars, and Jack Meredith is another 5 laps down on the Utes. So he's 10 laps off.
Kudos for still hanging in there, just as long as it doesn't cause any mayhem at the end and ruin a race for someone again.
Yeah, again being the main word in that sentence. I'm just watching Double at the moment. He's driving the car very well. He's just pretty much doing exactly as I said. Just he's not pushing the car. You can tell that, the body. There's nowhere near as much body roll in the car as you were seeing on like a quali lap, for example. Just very calm, very relaxed. Very little wheel spin for so late in the race.
So he's like a Prost of this race. Knows exactly what to do with the car to make it win the race.
Yeah. He's going to have done really well here.
And was that a 50? Oh no, we switched to Fender. I thought Matt just did a 53. Like now he's just taking the piss.
Just suddenly going faster again just cause. So Rafalo starts the 41st lap of the race. Was that Alfonso doing drift as well? It is, oh my god. Although to be fair, that was a pretty good slide through turn 2. Rafalo is sliding as well.
Getting involved. Anything you can do, I can do better.
That's pretty impressive to do in the supercars though, because drifting in the supercars is hard. You don't have a lot of Rafalo's actually had a big block up there.
That was a cool shot. If we just saw that, you had Alfonso drifting and Rafalo drifting up the inside past him.
You don't have a lot of steering lock on the supercar, so the wheels don't actually physically turn that far.
Oh guys, careful! Matt Double, leader of the race,
is Rafalo slowing down?
He is. I think he wants to do some
I think he's about to have it. I think he's bored, man.
Yeah, I would be bored too, to be honest. He's got more than 30 seconds of a gap. Yeah, he's just rolling. I bet he was waiting for.
Oh, look at Alfonso!
Oh, this is. Come on, guys! Don't do this in front of the leader.
Get out of the way, Double's trying to race here. Jack Meredith spins out once again. Poor Double's just desperately trying to bring the car home without crashing it.
Imagine seeing this. You come up to the corners. You've got Alfonso going sideways. You've got Meredith the bullet. Rafalo in front is doing crazy things as well.
Yeah, poor Double's just trying to nurse the car home.
That's not a car as well that you want to have any sudden movements in to try to react to these lunatics in front of you.
Oh god, I would have been stressed to the max just then as Double. I would have been so stressed out, just like, please, dumbasses, don't get in my way. Lap 42 of 44, Rafalo's almost brought it home for us.
The group chat would have been an interesting thing to listen into.
Get out of the way!
He's off.
Okay,
He's got plenty of time.
Josh Hill's gonna pull a Bradbury on these guys.
He's probably a bit too far back for that.
Quite an impressive move for Josh Hill to get past Nipris earlier, though. It was really well played. He just applied pressure and just kept the pressure on no matter what. And eventually Nipris made an error and he took advantage of that. It's almost funny watching Double right now. You can just tell he's being so careful. About to get lapped by Josh Hill.
Yeah, he's being careful, but his lap times are pretty consistent. You know, in the 53s, 54s.
Fando's not even really catching him anymore.
No.
Was he drifting too though?
That was Alfonso. Oh. In front of Matt Nipris, you know.
If this was a Russian Federation and the boss drove past you, the boss will be making phone calls right now. This is the last race you ever do.
Hey, get the body bag ready. This guy's finished.
All the cars now pretty much just driving to the end of the race now. Big gaps across the entire field. The closest gap is what? 17 seconds. That's between Nipris and Daniel. Oh no, between Daniel and Fando, that's actually the closest gap. 15 seconds.
Guess now we start handing out kudos points for the longest drift.
Yeah, this became a drift session more than
well, Meredith is definitely the loser. At least 3 times a lap his name goes yellow, meaning he's caused a yellow flag somewhere.
Oh man, not on a straight, come on.
All leaders on final lap. Better actually focus on the winner here. Even though he's kind of more or less done it with ease. Pretty much just smashed them all right out of the gate. No one could even really compete with him.
Oh, Rafale's a maniac. At Bathurst, he absolutely dominated.
Yeah, oh, he's just so good. So yeah, Double's doing a 154 too, so really not that bad pace for how many laps have the Utes done? Like 39 or so. 38, 39 laps. That's a lot of laps around Phillip Island to do on a single set of tyres. Rafalo's getting sideways almost everywhere. Celebrating early. Here we go. He comes around the final turn.
Come on, buddy, hold the drift, hold the drift.
Yeah, I was about to say sideways for most of it. Here he comes, across the line, sideways as well. And he wins the TCX number 4 at Phillip Island, and he's going to do some doughies in the grass.
TCX number 4, aka Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. He's trying to get the final prize for the... And then we have Josh Hill in second.
Yeah, with that well-played move on Nipris. And then we'll watch Double here win it for the Utes. 6 laps down.
Matt Nipris off on the last lap.
Doesn't really matter. He could just wait for 6 laps while... that's how far back Double is.
He's coming on the last corner. Matt takes out third.
Here comes
Matt
double.
off.
It's been a really impressive drive from him. He did really well. Across the line, wins the Ute race. Or the Ute class.
Class, yeah.
So yeah, he's done really well there to make that Ute last the entire time. Now he can get it sideways.
Fando coming onto the last corner.
Yeah, second place. Couldn't make up the gap. Made a small mistake and lost a few seconds and pretty much had no chance from then on.
This will be a comment specifically for Fando. The turd does float to the top. He'll know what that means.
I think our final card across the line will be Alfonso, although God knows where he is at the moment.
Bogged.
I don't even know where he is. Is that turn 4?
I have no idea.
No, it's not. It's the right-hander at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
So it's just coming round. He'll be the last car to finish the race. Although I'm not really sure if you'd call that racing.
Ah, nice.
And there we have.
It cuts him off.
And there we have it. Yeah. Well, congratulations to. Well, let's round this up. And Chris Brafalo taking out the win for the V8 Supercar. V8 Supercars, and Josh Hill making that move to Matt Nipris, taking out second, and Matt Nipris taking the last of the positions in third. But the driver of the night, I would say Matt Double.
He did really well to keep that car going
Yeah.
the whole time. And yeah, I really wasn't sure if it was the right call for him to stay out the entire time, but yeah, he made it work really well.
Yeah, so he took out the win for the V8 Utes, with Fando not able to close the gap, taking out second. Daniel Scaluna taking out third. And fourth, Chris Nipris. Fifth, Alfonso. And Jack Meredith just having fun and probably had the most drifts for the night.
Yeah, he was in his own class today.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a race. It was good. It makes me excited about the V8 Utes series coming up with a at the GT club. So that's
I'm gonna get my livery done for that and start practicing tomorrow, I reckon.
Yeah, well, tomorrow's our warm-up round at Wakefield Park. There's 20 of confirmed runners on such a short track. That's going to be very, very interesting.
In Utes, nonetheless.
I thought that would be the best track to test out the warm-up round, because if we can make it on that round track, then we can make it on every track. So
Make it anywhere.
so we'll see what kind of mischief happens tomorrow night. So not sure if tomorrow night is going to be streamed, but it might be, it might not be. But yeah. No,
We'll save it, and if we put on a good show, then we'll make it public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a pretty enjoyable night tonight, actually. Even that some of the times the field was pretty spread out, it was a lot of strategy was happening, and it looked like the no stopper was the key.
Yeah, looked like it worked well for the Utes.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, I think Matt still had a 20 second gap, so
Yeah, about that.
It looks like if Fando had a mistake-free race, it could have come down to the right to the last corner, basically, with a 1 stopper and a 0 stopper.
yeah.
He would have had to have like 20 perfect laps though.
I was just surprised with Daniel Scaluna. So something would have happened to him, because he wasn't far behind Fando.
Yeah, something
And-
like November that we've missed.
So, all right. Well, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, thanks for having me to commentate on this.
Yeah.
Great job, mate.
No worries. So it's a much easier job with you guys on here. So no, definitely enjoyed it, and hopefully everyone enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, Mr. Bunny, if you want to do it again, you great insight, great commentating, very entertaining. So well done, man.
Yeah,
Cheers, mate. It's been ages since I've done it, so good to get back into it a bit.
yeah. So guys, if you liked what you've seen and you want to be a part of Go Races or the GT Clubs leagues, the links are in the YouTube description to our Discord channels. So yeah.
They run ACC, run AC, good bunch of guys, good friendly racing. So check it out
Yep.
if you haven't done so already.
There's a whole different type of series that we both are running. You know, the GT clubs are currently about to start the V8 Utes on a 8 round series. I believe GoRace is about to launch an ACC series starting up soon. I'm not sure what he's got planned for any Assetto Corsa series yet, so we'll keep that our eyes peeled for that. So, but I know there's a TCX at number 5 happening in about 4 weeks' time. So, yeah, will be the next time you will see us up here in the commentary. And yeah, any last words, guys?
Nah, I think I've said my bit. I'm all good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Good racing. See you next
Good
time.
racing.